Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGenEd. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts, like the chart behind me, which is of NEO, ticker symbol NIO. And so here we are looking at the daily chart on Tuesday, April 30th, in the after hours, and NEO closed on the day at a price of $4.72, being up a little over 2.5% on the day and then pulling back about 4 cents in the after hours. And it has been on quite a rampage since I put out the last video on April 22nd when we put in this massive bullish engulfing candle. And I did point out that in the video, and I also did draw this Fibonacci retracement, but I also did caution that it could be going lower. And so I feel like, I have been bullish on NEO for the past many weeks, saying over and over, it's on sale, happy to be picking up shares lower and lower. But then the last time I put out a video last week, I had kind of started to lose faith in that. And I think that was kind of, a bottom indicator. Or, as a matter of fact, that was a bottom indicator because we did see the bottom on the 22nd. And from that day, we have seen a pretty massive rally going up over 30% since the low that was hit on that day, which was at a price of $3.61. Getting this nice big bullish engulfing candle, some consolidation here, followed by a gap up, and then 3 more candles to the upside. But, I do think there is a little bit of a concern because there is now this gap here that would be pulling back to around a price of $4.13, that being the close from April 25th. And then from that close, we gapped up to, $4.43. So it is quite possible we could be pulling back to maybe the 50% retracement from this Fibonacci here. And that would be at a price of $4.20, maybe getting a wick below to fill that gap down to 413. But also, I do think that we could be moving higher as we are just below a full retracement, which would be to a price of $4.79, also corresponding with this red line at $4.78. And so I will be taking a step back in just 1 second to show that line. But, on the note of possibly filling this gap, we do see what looks like could be, a hammer candle or a dragonfly doji. But in reality, since this has followed a pretty big move up, that could be a hanging man candle, which would suggest a bearish reversal, potentially to one of these fib levels like the 786 at 454, or the 618 at 434, potentially getting to 420 or maybe right around $4 a share. But, considering that we did close the month, above 472, and I'm actually going to hide the drawings for a second so we could look at not only the weekly chart, does look like we closed above the previous week's highs, so I think that's pretty good. Actually, the past 2 weeks' highs, we closed above them. And if we look at the monthly time frame, it is quite possible that this is a dragonfly doji with a giant bottoming tail and a close in the upper quarter of the month's trading. So that could be suggesting that 361 is the bottom, and we will be seeing a reversal, potentially getting up to, maybe $7.20, which would correspond with this consolidation that we've seen here, these lows getting higher than them. We will be facing a lot of resistance there, so it might be tough getting above that level. And if I do throw up the volume profile, it does show that right around, $6.78, 79 cents, we do start to get into some more volume corresponding with this consolidation over here. So I do think there is a lot of potential for this to be going to the upside, considering that we have closed the month of April very strong. And so to take a step back, I did just want to point out this red line here that is based on the low hit from March 5th. And then also, it does look like we are getting close to this downtrend. So I did also want to revisit where that is from. And so, got to take a step back in time to get a view of that. And that is based on these two pivot points, one being the low hit on October 24th of 2022, and this other one is the low hit on June 1st of 2023. And so, I do think that we could be getting back into or above that level, getting back into what I had described as a falling wedge here. But, since we did break below it, it has been pretty weak the past couple months. But I think this has all been great dip buying opportunities, as I do think we may, not only get above 478, 479, but we might be getting back into the $5 range, maybe getting up to $6 or $7. So, I think that there's just a lot of upside with NEO. And, while I did lose a little bit of faith last week, I was still trying to accumulate as much as I could. And, I do feel like there is plenty of upside for this stock and really, the Chinese EV sector, whether you're interested in NEO or XPeng, I do think that there's probably a lot of upside. And so I am excited about that. I hope you guys are too. But, those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching.